Here we are in the Week 3 assignments folder. These are some of the things we'll be learning about this week. It's all about Art Nouveau and its various incarnations in other countries. You'll be reading Chapter 2, Art Nouveau, a New Style for a New Culture. You might be interested in having a look at this week's e-lectures. The first one is on the Beggarstaff brothers. You'll learn about them this week. They were brothers-in-law, and they had a very brief career. It was only maybe 10 or 15 years. But they had a really interesting style, which we now call collage. They developed this technique, which we now call collage. And their style was actually very modern and very forward-thinking for graphic design at that time. Also, you might want to have a look at the images of women in French posters of the 1890s. Various artists portrayed women in different ways that might not be obvious to you when you look at them. So have a look at this and see how differently various artists portrayed women in posters. Again, you'll be working on your bibliography and designing context assignment, where you find an example of graphic design that's related to this week's reading but not in the textbook. Again, you'll create a bibliography for it, which should include at least one book, one journal article, and one web link. You'll complete the creative brief. It does not have to be a detailed paper, but try to include all of these considerations when writing about that work of graphic design. And you'll try to examine the work within the context of its time by finding at least one historical connection to the work of art that participates maybe in a similar style or movement. And then, of course, you'll respond to some of your classmates' posts to keep a discussion going. This is worth 25 points. And you'll turn it in just by clicking that link, which will take you into this week's forum. And click the Create Thread button, and you can add your post. You'll also continue working on the conceptual phase of your museum exhibition project. And of course, it's not due until February 19th. And of course, you're coming up with your exhibition topic and overview, so be sure to review these requirements and considerations for that. And again, have a look at some of these exhibition overviews done by other museums. And like I said before, it does not have to be a detailed paper. It doesn't need to be more than 1 page long. This week's web biography includes some things about, oh, that link is broken, about Toulouse-Lautrec Museum. I'll have to fix that. But these are some additional links to topics that were covered in this week's textbook. There's something on Art Nouveau houses in Brussels, which is pretty interesting. So that's this week's assignment. And if you have any questions, be sure to email me. Have fun.